What's up guys and welcome back to MoAn Inc. If you're new here and you have never seen my face before, then hello, my name is Erica and I am your host for the channel. And for today's episode, we are doing the penultimate reaction, which is crazy to say, the penultimate reaction to Epic the Musical, which means that we are going into the Vengeance Saga today. But before we can get into that, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the bell icon so that you know every single time I post in the future. And now that you've so kindly done that, let's get into the video. Just before diving in, I forgot to do this with the previous saga, but I will do it with this one. I should give you a disclaimer, which is that the purpose of this series is not to critique the musical. Yes, I am a classicist. Yes, I am coming with the knowledge from the ancient world and applying it to Epic the Musical, but we are simply using this as an educational tool. I love Epic, I am a huge fan, I listen to it all the time, and therefore I really just wanted to make a series where we would compare and contrast the ancient Odyssey to Rivera-herrans' version of that. Okay, so this is coming from a place of love, and with that being said, let's play the first song. Song number 1 is called Not Sorry for Loving You.
Someone arrived today. They said they're taking you away, that you're not mine to save, and soon I won't get to see your face.
This someone is Hermes. Just thought that I would let you know, that's not highlighted in the musical. We have this kind of like, ooh, someone has come to do this. In the ancient text, Hermes comes down to Calypso and says, hey, you have Odysseus and we need him to go home. And Calypso has a moment where she goes, if I was a male god, you wouldn't be telling me this. But she still does send Odysseus home. So she builds him a raft, kind of a thing. And well, she builds him a little teeny tiny boat raft situation and sends him off the island. So just begin with that little note.
I came by to say you're unlike anyone I have ever known, 'cause you're all I've ever known. And if I pushed you, or if I came on too strong, or if I ambushed you, for that I'll say I was wrong.
Like no member of the divine family in the ancient world would ever have this perspective of, oh, I'm really sorry if I pushed you. No, absolutely not. This is again to kind of redeem Calypso's character as well, because she is so fun and likable in the previous saga. And the situation of him being trapped is one that we really see from the different perspectives. You know, Athena's like, he's been trapped, blah, blah. Calypso's like, oh my God, it's so great to have you on the island. And here in this song, we're kind of redeeming her character, because in the Odyssey, we don't have that. So I think it's a really nice touch for this opening song and for this saga to have that sort of rounding off of Calypso's character before Odysseus leaves and continues his journey.
And if you hate me, then I am sorry, my love's too much for you. But I'm not sorry for loving you. 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 Calypso. Let me speak. I spent my whole life here, was cast away when I was young, alone for 100 years. I had no friends but the sky and sun. So when you washed ashore, I thought for sure that you were my dream come true. I thought I knew.
So in the Circe saga, a number of you guys were frustrated that I didn't talk about Circe's external mythology. And the reason is because when I spoke about Odysseus' external mythology in the Troy saga, everybody got annoyed at me. So I've actually refrained from doing that. So this is also something with Calypso's character that comes from outside mythology. This is not written about in the Odyssey. When I was mentioning that speech prior to this point, so in the previous point, I mentioned how she kind of yells at Hermes. And in that speech, she's really talking about other goddesses who have also done similar things to male gods in keeping mortals for themselves. But every single time a female goddess does it, it's wrong and they get punished for it. But anytime a male god does it, everybody just has to be fine with it. And that's kind of what I want to harp on here rather than Calypso's outside mythology. I have decided to possibly at some point in the future do episodes specifically about Circe and Calypso and talk about their entire mythology. But for the purpose of this, in comparing and contrasting it to the Odyssey itself, I really like this moment of like the let me speak kind of thing, because that's really harping on the mood of Calypso in the Odyssey, of her yelling at Hermes and being like, 1 second, let me just say my point, sir. You've shown up and blah, 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 that kind of a thing. Yeah. Song 2 is Dangerous.
600 deaths under my command, 'cause I had one goal in mind. No fleet, no band, only this raft that I made by hand. How will I reach my homeland?
All you have to do is not open this bag.
Hermes?
Hello, old friend.
So you're the one who talked to Calypso.
I totally forgot that this was in this song, and this is the only song I didn't print out the lyrics to, which is unfortunate. So this is like an actual I have to listen really closely to this song, but yeah, I completely forgot that we do have the acknowledgement that Hermes is the one who spoke to Calypso. 10 out of 10, love it.
Why are you here?
You're being given a final option. Consider this your one last chance to make it back home and abandon caution. Wash it away like the blood your hands have known. I know if you dance with fate, then I know you'll enhance your state.
If your plan's so great, then why'd you wait to say it?
Well, it's a little bit dangerous, my friend. You need a mindset change for this. You cannot get away with playing safe for this. You wanna get home, put it all on the line and put your whole brain in it. Remember every trick in your domain.
My concentration is like so focused right now.
You wanna get home, put it all on the line. Be dangerous.
All right, I'm in. What do I do?
First up, uncharted waters. When lost, look towards the sky. Follow the North Star, no matter how far you think you're going, you keep on rolling.
Okay, so Hermes is given directions. Remember how I said in multiple of the previous sagas, actually, that in this version, in rivera-herrans' version, we have different characters give different directions at various points in the narrative. That's not the case in the Odyssey. The majority of the directions are given to us by Circe, and that happens in book 12. Okay, so after Odysseus and his men come back from the underworld, she says, oh, welcome, blah, 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 and then tells them everything that they need to do. So she gives them the directions to the underworld and then tells them the directions for Scylla and Charybdis, the sirens, all of that kind of stuff. So I don't mind, and I've said this before, that we've split that up, because to have that all in one song and then to expect every single listener to remember that is kind of crazy. So I like how in Dangerous we have Hermes take on this role where he says, next stop is uncharted waters, you've got to follow the North Star, and that all of that jazz is really just providing all of the directions that Circe at some point would have given us in the text. So again, I think that's a really good way of adapting the ancient story to a modern medium.
When strangers look around the aisle, when danger greets you with a smile, fight your way through, do what you must do, but no matter what, keep moving, it's gonna be dangerous, my friend. You need a mindset change for this. You cannot get away with playing safe for this. You wanna get home, put it all on the line and put your whole bread in it. Remember every trick in your domain for this. You gotta treat it like it's the main event. You wanna get home, put it all on the line, be dangerous. And lastly, the win back. We went through so much to get this. Keep this bag closed if you wanna get home, sir.
How many wind bags are in this musical? This is a genuine question, and I know that you guys are going to tell me. This is what I love about the epic community that I found, that you guys are so vocal and like talking to me, which is wonderful. And I don't know if I've misunderstood this, but there are like 2 or 3 wind bags. So the first time that we talked about the wind bag, I was like, oh great, we have this wind bag. And then we got another one, or is this the second one? I don't know how many wind bags there are. Regardless, let me know. I know that you guys have been really on it with this, but in the ancient epic, there is 1 wind bag. That is it. They only get 1 wind bag and they screw the 1 time up. The third song is Charybdis.
must be who Hermes mentioned. A monster here to block my way. I'd like to hurry up and end this. So if you don't have much to say, then oh, bring it on. I'm not dying here, I'm still fighting here. I'm holding on till I see it through, till I've beaten you.
Okay, so I did just want to point out we have the song for Charybdis. I have frequently mentioned throughout the series that Charybdis is a monster that is actually opposite Scylla or Scylla. So in the ancient text, we meet them at the same time because Odysseus on his little boat, he's got to go smack bang in between them because if he goes too close to Scylla, she's going to have all of her heads come out and going to eat all the men. And if he goes too close to Charybdis, Charybdis is a whirlpool. So the description of Charybdis that we get in the Odyssey is actually that she is a hole that sucks in water 3 times a day and then spits out water 3 times a day. Now, in saying that, this is not inaccurate, so to speak, to the ancient text, because actually on Odysseus' journey, we hear that he does backslide to Charybdis. So there is a moment where him on his little raft, he has one-on-one time with with Charybdis one-on-one time. That makes it sound so weird. But you know what I mean, that he falls back and he doesn't fall back so far as Scylla, he just falls back to the side of Charybdis and he's got to like hang on to a tree. So I don't mind that we split up the two monsters to give them their time. This roaring of Charybdis is not what's described in the Odyssey. It's very much there. You guys have been letting me know that he's really, rivera-herrans is really inspired by anime and by video games and those sorts of things. So clearly that's coming through here, which I don't mind. Now that I know that, I don't mind this at all. I think it's a way of over-dramatizing Charybdis, who is just a whirlpool. That's all she is. I mean, she's really scary, and I love the descriptions of her in the Odyssey, but I also like how we're playing with her in this musical.
I already know your tactics. When you swallow, you attack with whirlpools that attract prey. But I see a disadvantage, cause I don't even have to kill you. I just have to avoid you. See if you don't spit it out soon, all that water will destroy you.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. Go, pop off. Let's hear it.
Oh, bring it on, till you're out of breath, till there's nothing left. I'm holding on, till I'm in the clear, till I'm out of here. There, I see it. The island I've been searching for. Home, I've reached it. My wife and son are past these shores. Holding on, I am almost there. My love, don't be scared. Hold on, I am on my way. I'll be there today.
Oh my god, I love that. I love that part of the song. I have seen so many people, especially on TikTok, be like, don't like the song Charybdis, I love it. I think this part is so beautiful. Similarly to Legendary, I said that there's a part of Legendary that I will literally just like rewind when I'm listening to it. I will always rewind this part of Charybdis. I think this was so beautiful, the way it's pulled back. Oh, stunning. No notes. Song number 4 is Get in the Water.
There you are, coward. I've been waiting for this moment, for the perfect time to strike. When you're home so close and you've reached your coast, that's when our paths collide. I've got a reputation, I've got a name to uphold, so I can't go I'm cold. Now get in the water. Get in the water. Or I'll raise the tide so high, all of Ithaca will die.
That is over dramatized for this musical. Poseidon is not threatening to wipe out an entire island and to wipe out all of these people in the Odyssey. Again, this is something for musical purposes to make everything seem bigger and higher stakes. And I am not against that. I am somebody that always wants the stakes to be very high. And I think, again, in translating the story into this medium, but also into the modern world, we don't have the same sort of, like, I don't know, stakeometer as the ancients. So the story from the ancient world, when it comes to Odysseus coming home, there's a completely different set of stakes that he is facing. And in this one, we have to have more external antagonists that are opposing his journey. Like I've said, Poseidon is obviously an antagonist in the Odyssey as well. But yeah, this idea that he's threatening all of Ithaca and it's gonna die is that's just rivera-herrans, and we love it for the musical. Don't try and find it in the Odyssey, because you won't.
Wait. Get in the water. Stop this, please. I'll make tidal waves so profound, both your wife and your son will drown.
No, they won't.
Get in the water.
No, they won't. They'll be fine.
Get in the water. Don't mistake my threats for bluff. You have lived more than enough. Get in the water. Get in the water. I'll take your son and gouge his eye.
No, you won't.
That is unless you choose to die.
Calm down.
Get in the water. Aren't you tired, Poseidon? It's been 10 years. How long will this go? We're both hurting from losses, so why not leave this here and just go home? I can't. Maybe you could learn to forgive. No.
I mean, I was saying earlier about Athena, earlier in a different episode, I was saying, she wouldn't really care. She wouldn't be reflecting and thinking that she was wrong. And Calypso has a moment of reflecting and thinking that she was wrong and apologizing. This is much more what you would get from the ancient Greek text, of the idea that someone's like, don't you think it would be nice if... No, the answer is no. The Greek gods don't care. And I love that Poseidon is having this moment. He's, like I keep saying, very over-dramatized, but to have him be the polar opposite of these gods is a really nice way to have rivera-herrans kind of get a little piece of the ancient world, of the modern world, and all of these characters and push them together in a new way. So I do really, really like this, even though I am saying, like, calm down, blah, blah. I really love this, and I mean, it's such a good song. This is such a good song. We all love this song. Come on.
Ruthlessness is mercy upon ourselves. Die!
And the final song in the Vengeance Saga is 600 Strike.
to die, 'cause I will get back to my son. And I will get back to my wife!
Okay, gonna be transparent with all of you. In a previous saga, I said there was one song that I just can't listen to. And I also said this on Instagram, where I said there is one song from this musical that I refuse to listen to, and I skip every single time. This is that song. This is not, me hating on the musical at all. I know that a lot of you guys agree with me that this song is there's just like a lot going on. There's a lot going on. There's a lot happening. I'm not really clear on everything that happens in the song either, but I just want to be, really transparent with you guys that I actually, this would be like the second time I've ever listened to this song. So when it comes to a reaction, this is going to be as genuine as it gets, guys. Okay, let's go.
Forever be comrade, every one of my friends, almost all of whom were slaughtered by your hand.
Oh, so he's blaming Poseidon. Actually, that's quite Odyssean of him. I gotta give props where props are, where credits are due. And certainly to have Odysseus be like, hey, Poseidon, all of my men died because of you, rather than because of him and his poor leadership skills, is a nice twist. Actually, nice one, Rivera-herrans. I like that.
600 strike! You idiot. Can't you see? You sealed your fate just to beat me. You released my storm when you opened that bag. Blocked your one-way home. Now you'll never get back.
Okay, so the concept here is that the Bag of Winds released a storm. That's not what it is in the Odyssey. Again, I'm like uncovering the song with you guys. But that's not what happens in the Odyssey. Again, I don't know how many bags we are deep into having wind bags in this story. In the Odyssey, like I literally just said, we have one, and they hold simply winds. I can see how that is then, sort of squished into the idea of storms, but it is supposed to be a final gust. So the instructions that were given to Odysseus when he originally gets the bag in the Odyssey is that he is only to open it when he can see Ithaca. And when he can see Ithaca and the bag is opened, it'll give you that last gust to get you to the shores of home. And obviously that is then opened too soon, which it is opened too soon a bunch of times in this musical, but it's also opened too soon in the Odyssey, and that's why he is drawn so far off course. So the lyrics, you release my storm when you open that bag, blocked your one-way home, and now you'll never get back. The idea of like blocking the one-way home by opening the bag is still something that we see in the Odyssey, so I do quite like that link. Not necessarily blocking, but sort of derailing is probably a better word for it. But now you'll never get back is again just Poseidon being like, send your villain here. Like, no, you cannot go home. I am going to kill you. Kind of a thing. And all of Ithaca, apparently, is what he's gonna, is what Poseidon's gonna do. He's got nothing else better to do aside from this.
You're going to call off that storm. Or what? You can't kill me. Exactly. Wait. Wait! Ah! How does it feel to be helpless? How does it feel to know pain? I watched my friends die in horror, crying as they were all slain. I heard their final moments, calling their captain in vain. Look what you turned me into. Look what we've become. Enough. All of the pain that I've been through. Haven't I suffered enough? You didn't stop when I begged you. Told me to close my heart.
I'm just going to stop it right now, because technically this continues. But I do want to start off by saying it's beautifully sung. Like, this is a really beautiful lyrical moment. Like, I really like how the melody goes. I like the contrast between the background music. I'm just completely lost as to what is going on. I know literally he's stabbing Poseidon, but I'm lost in a sense of Hawaii just because you can. I don't know if that's going to work out really well for you, considering Poseidon can't die, and so therefore when he doesn't die, he's going to come back and it's going to be really messy. You know, like, it seems like a very large leap to make. And also what I do want to say is that you can remove this from the musical and it doesn't make any difference. I love the musical as a whole, but I find this one song is quite jarring and quite different. And a lot of you guys have agreed with me on that, so I don't feel so alone, which is great. And I just think that I think if rivera-herrans is to do another musical that in the timeline of things were to be after this, because I know he's working on the Iliad musical, but let's say in like 10 years, he's like, oh, I'll do the Aeneid, or I'll do something else, or whatever happens to be. When you've put this in your world, which is now you can stab gods and it'll be okay, it opens up a lot of really bizarre doors, in my opinion, that you'll kind of find yourself getting into holes with. Because then the gods aren't all that scary if actually when you get up to them, you can stab them and then they don't punish you afterwards. Or you'll have to write a whole other song about, oh, well, we can't do this to Poseidon. Like, for example, if he goes to do on the Aeneid, we have the Roman version of Poseidon in that. And so you would have to kind of say, well, Aeneas can't just try and stab Neptune, who's the Roman version of Poseidon, because when Odysseus did it, it ended up really badly for him. Like, you would have to throw something extra in there. And then, in my opinion, it becomes a lot. I think this is a song, just clip it and remove it. I tend to forget that it even exists, and it doesn't impact anything, honestly. I don't want to listen to the end of it, actually. Oh, no, we will listen to the end of it because there is one epic line. So let's just listen to the end, guys, until we can get to that line that I know that you all know we're coming to.
You said the world was monster. Didn't you say that ruthlessness is mercy upon our... All right. Please. After everything you've done, how will you sleep at night? Next to my wife.
Yes, that is such a boss line to end with. So that's the only reason why we kept going until the end of the saga, because that line is really good. You have to always give credit where credit is due. And in a song where I wasn't wild about it, to get to the end and to hear him be like, next to my wife, it's like, boom, mic drop, wonderful. Wonderful writing and a way to bring us round to, okay, we're back strapped in, I'm on board again, let's go. But with that being said, that is the end of the Vengeance Saga, which means that the next video is going to be the final installment of my epic musical reaction, which is so crazy. I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to listen to it most of the way through, or at least the last two songs I'm gonna have to just listen to and not talk through. So that video might be a bit of a longer one, but I'm so excited for you guys to finish this journey with me as well. Thank you all so much for your support on the channel and for watching all of these videos, engaging constantly, and for many of you for subscribing and for now being a part of this nerdy corner of the internet. So with all that being said, I will love you and leave you, and I'll be seeing you next time with the final epic video. I'll see you guys then.